what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Titus Peoples, and we are back with yet another episode of When Discussion Strikes. Please like and subscribe to Ultimate Class TV, and I am here with somebody today, a fellow creative like myself, writer, producer of the hit YouTube shows Night School.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
And what's the other one?
Mondaze.
Mondaze.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my man Richie Kamtchoum is in the building, and he's here to talk about his projects. Richie.
Yo, it's a pleasure, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for having me, bro.
Yes. So, Mr. Richie Kamtchoum.
Yes.
Talk to us about your uprise and your success in this small space known as YouTube.
Yeah, man. It started out, honestly, prior to YouTube, I was always a screenwriter. I started screenwriting probably about 8 years ago now.
8 years, okay.
Yeah, so been doing it for a little bit. But the thing with screenwriting, it's one of those industries that it takes a while to crack through, as you know. You're a screenwriter, please. So you know how it goes. And I feel like you probably find some common ground here with me in that, I was submitting to all these competitions and, getting rejected or, good try, but, maybe next year. And they felt kind of predatory because you got to pay for them. And, so I remember one year, it might have been like 2018, I felt like my scripts were in a really good place. I had spent hundreds of dollars, which was a lot for me. I was fresh out of college. I'm like, this is a lot of money, that I'm spending on this. And I remember just thinking, you know what? I like my scripts. Why don't I produce them myself? And I submitted to one competition. I got a silver place. It was an international film competition. So that was enough for me to say, okay, they're getting somewhere. It's not just me that thinks that. I got a little bit of outside, validity. And I went to this conference in 2019 called Screenwriter Summit. I don't know if you heard of it.
Yes, I have.
So I went to that joint, and Donald Albright, who's he's the co-founder of Tenderfoot TV. They do podcasts. He was down there, and he was like, he was doing a panel, and he said, if you're an aspiring screenwriter, you don't need to be worrying about submitting to competitions. You don't need to be worrying about networking with the right people. What you need to do is take your script, and if you don't have that much money, make an audio podcast, essentially. And I was like, wow, that was just what I needed to hear, because I knew I wanted to produce it, but I was like, I don't have the budget to make my script. Like, I don't have, I didn't have it. So I went up to him after the panel, like, what do I need to do? He's like, get these mics, listen to these podcasts. He was like, listen to like 10 podcasts all the way through, so you know what you like and what you don't like. And yeah, man, I spent probably 6 months listening to a whole bunch of audio dramas, which are just essentially like a TV show that you act out on a mic like this, and you'll just hear it. And then I was like, okay, I want to make, I always wanted to make a black version of The Office, kind of base it on, my experiences as a young working professional. And I wrote a pilot, and I sent it to my friends. I was like, what y'all think? Y'all think this is funny? They're like, yeah, this is hilarious, bro. Like, what you about to do with it? I'm like, I need to I'm trying to make a show, but, I don't have the resources. So I bought a couple of relatively inexpensive mics, and I was living in a one-bedroom at the time. Bought 3 mics, and I just invited all my friends in the area to, play the different characters. They came through. We recorded it, man. We recorded the pilot. I messed up, though, because I actually deleted the recording. I didn't know what I was doing on accident. I recorded it on Audacity, yeah, man. And after that, I was like, but everyone had such a good time. Like, would y'all please come back and re-record the pilot? They was like, yeah, bro, we got you. They came back, and I think the time that we had was such a good time that I was like, I'm going to write the rest of the season. I had writer's block for a month or so, but after that, I cranked out 7 episodes of the audio drama Mondaze. And, put it out, man, on my own accord I had an assistant, a editing guy, and he helped me out with the audio. But other than that, it was just me and the people that were the voice actors. And I put the first season out, wasn't really expecting anything, just wanted to share it. And a lot of people liked it, people in my network. It didn't get too much further than that. It got on Reddit, Twitter, you share it on these different little avenues, but people were like, man, this is good, but I'm trying to watch it. I want to watch this show. And I'm like, man, that costs money, I don't know what y'all thinking, especially if you want to do it right,
Absolutely.
And so I was like, dang, okay, but they asking for the visuals. People want the visuals. So I was like, okay, we coming back for season 2, and I got y'all with the visuals. So I did another season, same exact process. Took me about a year. Wrote the episodes. We recorded it, and then I was like, okay. I hit up a video production guy that I knew in the area. I'm from the DC area, and he was
Shout
great.
out to DC.
Shout out to DC, a beautiful city. I love it. It was home for me for so long before I moved to New York, and he was like, man, I got you with the low because I really I love this show, and he got his team together. His name is Denise. Shout out to him. He got his team together, and we shot 4 shorts in the span of a day, like from like sun up to sundown, with everyone that was on the audio show. And we did it as a visual.
Fire.
It was great, man. I put it out in kind of like in tandem with the audio episodes for season 2. So I was like, okay, I got y'all with the audio and the visuals, and naturally the visuals got a better response because people were like, oh, finally we could see it, and that was it. Once I got the response on the visuals, I'm like, I need to take this all the way. And so the 3rd season of the show, this is 2021, so we're still in the thick of the pandemic, or kind of coming down off of it, I guess. I was like, all right, I put the casting call out. I'm like, yo, I'm doing the show. It's called Mondaze. It's a visual show, and it's like fully visual, no audio. Put a team together of great creatives that I work with to this day. So some of them helped me create Night School. And we rented out an office in downtown DC, and we did the full thing, man. And gathered a lot of great like talent from the DC area. Casey Lean and Cuisine Lawrence. He's
like,
mad
funny.
He's hilarious, and he's like, he's the man in our area. And so just to have him come on board was, I think a lot of people started taking it a bit more serious. Like, okay, you got something going here. He's just a great person to work with, and just a good guy. Got one of his people that he works with. His name is Malcolm. He came on the show. We got these 2 roasting guys. I don't know if you know Mike and Gio.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Mad for you.
Yeah. So they've been viral and everything, and I didn't know like if they would be down for him, and they was super down, and they came on board, and so just got like gathered a lot of talent. It just became this big communal thing, for a lot of the creative talent in the DC area, man. And we made the show, put it out, and it's gotten an even better response. Grew the following. A couple videos did well. One of them went viral. Questlove reposted it. I'm not gonna lie, like I got to humble brag about that one because that was
Shout
a
out
big
to
deal.
Questlove.
Questlove.
That's
Questlove.
a good Do not take any of this stuff as small feats, bro.
Nah, yeah.
Yo, Questlove is the man. Questlove is part of the roots, bro. Man, like, yo.
I feel you, bro. Sometimes you never want to. Yeah, I know you. I know you've probably had like accomplishments along the way. Sometimes it's like you want to like, it's almost like name dropping. It makes it feel like you bigging it up too much, but it is like it's an accomplishment. You want to share the accomplishment, and so little stuff like that happen along the way, and we're obviously the writers are on strike right now. Shout out to all of the writers that are picketing right now, all the actors that are picketing right now. Just want to show solidarity to the union. Had to do that, but hopefully after that, we could maybe do something else with the show. So
absolutely hit the ground running.
Hit the ground running. So
yeah, man. Like yo, that co-sign from Kevin Hart's production company definitely helped out a lot. Like, it definitely helped me and my team out a lot, and it opened up new channels for us to get the rest of my scripts out. Like, because writing is hard. Like,
it's hard, man. It's hard.
And I just don't get how people don't understand that we are the redheaded stepchildren of the film industry.
I don't understand because you know what?
Because I ain't mean to cut you off.
No,
because
go ahead.
You see the actors get all the love, the red carpet treatment. You see the directors and stuff like that.
Right.
You guys wouldn't have none of that if it wasn't for the script.
Absolutely.
So, you could list 1,000 actors, 1,000 directors, but if you ask a so-called film fan or a film critic to name 5 screenplay writers, they might not be able to tell you.
But it's not, we didn't get into it for that, right?
You
don't get into writing because you want the fan for it. It's because you have a story to tell. You want to tell stories. You want people to feel that feeling that you had when you were inspired. And that was something like, I knew that Hollywood is a political industry and, it comes with these different things. And a lot of the magic of Hollywood is the visual. So naturally, the acting is going to get a lot of credit, actors, and the auteur behind it, the director. I was the director. Like you just, Greta Gerwig, who's amazing, Christopher Nolan. They up right now, right? Oppenheimer and Barbie are their creations. I mean, Christopher Nolan did write Oppenheimer, and I think Greta Gerwig had a co-writer for Barbie. But she did. But besides that, you know, if it was another movie that did well, people would just give credit to the director. You know, same thing with TV shows like The Bear or whatever great shows are out right now. But they don't realize, like you said, like we're the people that are putting in that work to literally write what you see on screen. You know, and we're doing rewrites on set. Like a lot of people are doing rewrites on set, so writers don't get nearly enough credit. And I'm not even saying this to say the reason why I do more than writing is because of that, but luckily, or not luckily, but for me, I love writing, but I just like every aspect of the production, you know, that I always want to try my hand at everything. So I act a bit in Mondaze as well. I've acted on other stuff, and I also, you know, direct as well, and I want to definitely direct more. So I just, you know, love creating it. You know, and another thing that I'm sure you're aware of is when you start making something kind of on your own, sometimes it's not always the best thing. You can be a little possessive over it. So sometimes
Absolutely.
I'm like, man, I want to write, I want to do it all on a project, you know. And so
Absolutely.
I definitely have interest in doing everything. I would primarily call myself a writer, but filmmaker, I'm sure as you would call yourself as well. But yeah, I'm interested in directing as well, acting, the whole shebang.
So I know how to direct.
Right.
I know how to direct very well.
Yeah.
I would say humbly that I am an exceptionally well versed director, but I don't have the patience for it.
That's the thing. That's the thing, man. It is.
That's why, like, it'll take a very special project for you to see me behind the camera.
But how do you feel about my whole thing about being a director at first? I don't really have this anymore. Was just like, you know, you write the thing because you just have this like desire to tell a story.
Right.
And then after that, I'm like hands off. Like the shorts that we did, the video production guy I was mentioning, Anise, he pretty much directed it. Like we got the co-credit, but like he was running the show. Because I was just like, I don't know what to tell people, you know. So because I always had this kind of like imposter syndrome of I didn't go to film school, so how can I direct, you know? And so how did you felt naturally comfortable, even though you said like it takes a lot of patience, you felt naturally comfortable like, all right, nah, this is what we doing. Like I remember like not knowing what a shot list was, all these things.
I definitely don't want to sound cocky to anybody out there. But I have this complex of I enjoy telling people what to do. So being a director, you two are going to argue. I want you to be very frustrated at what he's saying. I'm going to tell you a little secret.
Right.
Have them secrets.
Yeah.
Like, yo, when you're not here, they're smashing on the kitchen table. Where your son sits.
So you a pro.
Where your son sits. I need that visceral. Oh, that's what you want.
You know, and like to that point. So the Monday show that we did, the most recent season that you probably watched.
Of course.
Yeah, that one. So I co-directed that with Sherwin Santos, a great friend of mine, who initially he was just going to be the DP, the director of photography, and then we started having the conversation. He's like, and I'm like, man, I'm still looking for a director. One of the other guys I was going to have direct, he had another commitment, he couldn't make it, and he's like, yeah, I'm down. You know, we talked about it a bit, and the first 2 episodes I directed, and he directed the middle 3. And the first 2, you know, this was really like my first time actually directing solely on my own. And, you know, everybody gave me grace on set, you know, because it's my project. But they also knew, like, okay, you know, he's still figuring it out. So things weren't as smooth as I wanted them to be, but we got it done. And he directed the middle 3. He's a director. He's a pro. He does what he does. He's actually going to direct something that I want to hint at later. But he directed the middle 3, and I was just watching it, man. I was just like, okay, I see how he gets performances out of people. I see how he just has like a command on set. And, you know, he was doing his thing. He was great. But I took that, and I was like, okay, I was observed. So the last episode, the 6th episode, I directed it. So I directed the first 2, and the last one, he directed the middle 3. And on set, I'm like, I pretty much copied him. I'm like, but through that, you kind of sometimes have to copy people or just pay attention in order to develop your own style. So I took a little bit from how he was directing and just really started to forge my own style. And that 6th episode, man, had I not felt comfortable as a director, we wouldn't have got it done because we had no time to finish everything. Like we had one day, and we had so many scenes to do, and we still actually went a little bit over. But luckily, the leasing office manager that was working there at the time allowed us to stay a bit over. But yeah, I got more comfortable as I was going in. So I guess I say all that to say you were a natural, whereas someone like myself, it took me a little bit, and it might be personality type, like you say. Like you said it, like, hey, I like telling people what to do.
Dude, I'm sorry. Like,
You know, I think I'm comfortable doing it when it's to service a vision for me, because like I'm one of those people. I'm very committed to like my vision and things
Absolutely.
that. That's why we write, because you have a
like
vision.
The way you see it in your head, you have to
it has to come
in
out that
front
way.
of that lens.
Yeah. Are you collaborative as a director?
You know what? In recent years, I used to be the lone wolf.
Okay.
Yo, these last couple of projects that I have as screenplays, I have people that I co-write with. I used to be a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Like my first 8 scripts that I've written, wrote solely Titus Peoples. Like these last couple of projects, I got a script with my guy Chuck Taylor. Shout out to my boy Chuck.
Shout out.
I got scripts with all my friends, actually.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Because all my friends are phenomenal screenwriters.
And that's another thing. People, once they see you make good work and you do things, people start reaching out to you like, oh, man, I got an idea. Or you got any ideas? Like, I want to collaborate. And to your point, I don't think I don't have any issues with collaborating. I collaborate a lot, actually. But I think early on, I just needed to get my ideas out to prove to myself I could do it. And I'm like, nah, I got to get this idea out.
You got
and,
it.
You know,
you hit it on the head.
You do that for a few years, and then you start to build a community, and then it's like, yeah, why not collaborate? And so and that's the Sherwin guy I was mentioning. We enjoyed our collaboration process so much. Lean, we enjoyed working with him so much. We all were like, let's make another show. You know what I'm saying? Like we got downtime, and that's to bring up the night school show.
Yes, let's get into night school.
Night school, yo, it was literally out of. So Mondaze was definitely about something, right? It's about the just essentially being black in the office and everything that comes with that. It's a lot of subtext themes there, but that's the core essence of the show and just how we are in the office, a bit unfiltered. Night school was literally we were thinking like it was kind of like an exercise in limitations. We're like, okay, we want to make another web series. We don't necessarily have like an idea that we're passionate to tell about for a web series, but where are some locations where we could shoot? And we're like, okay, we could shoot in someone's apartment, but that's that's not too exciting.
Here's a tip.
Yeah.
If you're independent, no money. Use every resource that you could find. Your auntie's office.
Yeah.
Your doctor, ask your doctor to hold it down after hours. Be like, yo, listen, I'll throw you $200. Just use your office for like an hour.
Yep.
Like, use all the resources that you have.
Yeah, and so everyone out there, please listen. If you're aspiring, listen to what Titus said, because that's the surefire way that you can make something, and you give yourself less excuses, because we tell ourselves so many things. I'm guilty of it as well, that just like stop us from doing a thing. And the way myself, Sherwin, Lean work, we try to be as resourceful as possible. And we were thinking, what's a location that we could do would be low cost, but it'd be like not just an apartment show, right? Because Lean shoots skits there, and you can do so many little things in an apartment, but It won't be as like, I don't know. We wanted to have like just a more exciting idea. And Sherwin mentioned a school, and he's like, what about we do something at a school? And we're like, night school? And I'm like, I got it. I got the pilot episode. And I come back to him, I don't know, a couple weeks, a month later maybe, I can't recall, with the pilot. And I sent it to him, and he sent it to Lean. And we were in a group chat, and they were like, we love it. We got to do this. And so all three of us got on a Zoom call, and we pretty much knocked out the whole season, all 6 episodes, in a couple sessions, like the concepts of each episode. We're like, okay, the pilot episode is obviously it was written already, but it's gonna have this guy interrupting class inappropriately. And we're gonna have the second episode, we gotta bring Mike back from Mondaze and have him roast, right? Episode 3 is an inappropriate science presentation. Episode 4, we gotta have a horror episode. We want to throw people off on some Teddy Perkins stuff, man. And that's how, we felt about Lean. So we're like, bro, we gotta give you your own episode just to show people what you could do as not just a comedy actor, but like with some acting chops. 'Cause I think that's what separates him from a lot of folks. And so we were like, episode 5, that's all you, Lean. And then episode 6, we wanted to bring it back. So we pretty much knocked that out, like the discussion around it, in like 1 or 2 Zoom meetings, and then we all went off and wrote our own episodes. And yeah, right after Mondaze came out, we built out a schedule to shoot Night School, got the location, and we knocked that out over 2 or 3 days, I want to say, in late last year, late 2022. And yeah, man. And then, that one was like, we were just trying to have as much fun as possible and collaborate. It was a, collaborative spirit, have fun. Each of us do, primarily myself writing. They also co-wrote, but Sherwin directed every episode and Lean is a star. And
whoa. Nah, so what's next for you, Richie?
Man, hopefully, fingers crossed, like you say, or it will happen, like you say, create a TV show after the strike. That's, if I'm being honest, that's my primary goal. But besides that, and you can't really control that yourself, but in terms of stuff that I can control and the people I collaborate with can control, I can't say too much about it because we're still putting everything together. But myself, Sherwin Santos, who will be directing, and Lean and Cuisine, who will be starring in it, have collaborated on a feature film.
Oh, okay.
Feature film. I'll give away the title. It's called High Odyssey. That's all I'll say. It's called High Odyssey.
Like that. Odyssey.
It's a dope name, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We're kind of excited about just the name. This is how you know when you're really excited to make something, when you just get excited about the names, the locations. I was sending references to Sherwin earlier of the cover art. I'm like, maybe we could do a cover art similar to this, but it's called High Odyssey, and it's gonna be a feature film. And we are more to come about that, but the script is already written. Sherwin and I co-wrote the script this past summer. Lean is gonna be starring as the main character. I'll also have a role there. It'll be a film, hopefully, that people haven't seen before. So yeah.
Richie, where can the people find you, brother?
Man, y'all can find me on Instagram. That's the primary social media I use. I am on Twitter, or I guess X now. I'm on X a little bit, but I don't use it as often. But same @name on both, Richie, RICHIE, PBM. And yeah, that's my primary. Those are the primary social media channels I use. Also on Instagram, you can follow Mondaze at Mondaze Show, and that's Mondaze with a Z, so MONDAZE.
Links will be in the
at Mondaze Show on Instagram. And then, follow Night School as well. Night School Show. That one's pretty simple. Night School Show on Instagram. And yeah, those are my social channels. But I definitely always post about stuff that I'm working on there, behind the scenes. Anything just showing the life of a creative, I guess. I want to post more. Like, I don't know about you, but sometimes I want to show people more about the process, because people sometimes will ask, and I feel like early on I've been a little not closed off, but just like I don't really show people like what it's like, and that's something that since I've been working with Sherwin and Lean, we post a lot of behind the scenes and try to do that more. And oh yeah, last thing, I want to shout out a show that an animated show that I was gracious enough to be a part of, called The Matumbalas. It's actually the first original series from Quelly TV. It's going to be premiering next month in September. On September 8th, there's going to be a screening actually here in New York. You should come.
I'm definitely going to pull up.
Anyone in New York, y'all should come through, support. Created by a friend of mine that I met named Zool. He's a great creator. He's like us, independent spirit, does his thing. And he primarily creates it with another good friend of mine named Chris Yates. So, The Matumbalas, that's coming out next month. Wanted to shout them out because, it's just a funny show. Imagine if The Simpsons was about, Africans. That's
that's OD.
That's
OD.
That's the soft pitch for the show.
And you guys know where you can find me at. I am Titus Peoples across the board. And if you're watching on TV, thank you. Subscribe to Ultimate Class TV, and that's our show for today. Richie, brother.
Titus, thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Appreciate the discussion.
And that's our episode for today. Thank you.